For most students in Singapore today, English is the main language used to teach almost all the subjects in school. But this was not the case about 20 years ago. Students who were born in the 50s and 60s could also go to schools that use either Chinese or Malay as their main language. The existence of some of these language-based schools can be traced as far back as the mid-19th century. For example, the first known Malay school, Sekolah Melayu Kampung Jago, located in Teluk Belanga, had existed since 1856. Another area where several Malay schools were located was in Kampung Gelam. One of the more well-known schools there was the Sekolah Melayu Kota Raja, a Kota Raja Malay School. 64-year-old Mr. Naim Daipi spent his early days studying at Kota Raja Malay School, which was located at the junction of Victoria Street and Jalan Sultan. He recalled some of the lessons that were taught back then.
Biasanya darjah satu hal-hal yang asas lah. Umpamanya mempelajari bahasa bacaan melalui kosakata. Dia ada dua bentuk bacaan, satu bacaan Jawi, satu bacaan Bumi. Ada tulisan Jawi, ada tulisan Bumi. Jadi sistem yang digunakan pada waktu itu adalah sistem suku kata. Di sekolah saya terbiasa mempelajari semua subjek dalam bahasa Melayu, kecuali bahasa Inggeris.
There were also schools especially for girls. 56-year-old Madam Kamaria Buang studied at Kampung Gelam Malay Girls School from 1966. The school was located at Victoria Lane, the area known as Stanford Primary School.
Dalam mata pelajaran yang setiap hari kita belajar, kita juga masih gunakan jadual waktu ataupun timetable. Selain daripada bahasa Melayu itu juga yang wajib, bahasa Melayu yang bahasa pertama, dan yang kedua bahasa Inggeris. Selain itu kita ada mata pelajaran tawarikh iaitu sejarah, dan tu ilmu alam, sains, ilmu hisab. Kita belajar tulisan Bumi dan tulisan Jawi. Kita belajar IRK ataupun agama.
Another factor that sets such students apart from those attending the mainstream English schools would be their school uniform.
Memandangkan itu sekolah perempuan dan sekolah Melayu rata-rata pakai baju kurung. So uniform saya pada masa itu berwarna baju kurung putih dan kain biru. Sekali-sekala ataupun setiap hari Jumaat kita boleh pakai tudung.
Apart from imparting knowledge, the teachers were also imparting some life lessons. Some may be considered harsh by today's standards, but it helped to deepen their interest and built discipline and character.
Salah satu guru yang kemungkinan beri saya kesan, dia Cikgu Sanusi Ansar. Cikgu Sanusi Ansar ni selalunya memberikan saya wang. Dia kata, tolong belikan saya teh, satu tin, 2 keping roti prata dan surat khabar berita harian. Jadi lebihnya saya ambil. Dia kasi $1. Jadi setiap hari itulah kerja saya. Tapi sebelum saya berikan berita harian tu, saya baca dulu. Jadi saya banyak pengetahuan tentang berita-berita semasa.
Sekarang dengan dulu cikgu yang mengajar tak banyak beza lah. Kalau tak selesai kerja sekolah, masing-masing kena denda. Sama ada buat tuk ketampi ke, berdiri tepi pintu ke, ataupun kena sebat dekat tangan. Pernah satu kali buku saya dilontar di luar tingkap, memandangkan meja guru tu di sebelah tingkap.
Students today are subjected to back-to-back core curricular activities or CCA, additional tuition and all sorts of commitments that emphasize on their grades. For Cikgu Naim and Cik Kamaria, their CCAs at that time were of a different nature.
Selain daripada itu, saya menambah minat dalam bacaan kerana di kawasan Minto Road itu banyak penerbit. Malaysia Press, Royal Press dan sebagainya. Melalui percetakan itu ada kadang-kadang kertas-kertas yang terbuang kerana kena ink dan sebagainya. Jadi dia buang kat bakul, saya akan kutip tu. Kemudian saya potong, saya sambung-sambungkan jadi buku.
Habis sekolah, lekas-lekas nak sampai kat rumah. Rasanya macam kalau dah sampai rumah tu macam-macam boleh bikin. Dan saya balik sekolah, saya tolong orang jualan. Jadi dapatkan sedikit belanja yang lebih.
Although Malay schools are no longer around, the life lesson and experience in such schools had left a lasting impression on its students. For Mr. Naim and Madam Kamaria, their experience in the Malay schools had deepened their love for the Malay language and culture. Even today, they continue to motivate the younger generation to appreciate and embrace the Malay language into their lives. It is hoped many more would follow in their footsteps and continue to inspire the next generation and beyond.